Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing as it is very much appreciated. Okay, discussion piece today on the philosophy behind why I don't sell my work, my strikers. I'm getting into making my own strikers. As anyone who's been watching my channel for a while now knows, I'm going to the forge regularly and making my own strikers. I think I'm up to about 22, 23 strikers now. So I've started to make a fair few of them. And once you start making them, obviously it gets to the point where you start to think, and people start asking you, can I buy one off you? And you have to start making the decision on whether you're going to sell them or not. And I asked Jack about that. Jack's my mentor as far as this goes, and I value his opinion greatly. He's a good mate, and he's a very smart man as far as it goes. He's been doing this for a while, and the way he explained it, and I embraced his philosophy behind it, because I could see exactly what he was saying, and I'll try to explain it now as this discussion piece goes on. There are many points to it, but first up, I've finally got to the point now where I'm actually happy with my work that how it turns out. With my colonials and single curl colonial sled types, or they're basically a colonial style striker. I can pretty well knock one of these out in about 2 hours. The curl comes out really well. It all turns out really well. As you see, they spark incredibly well. Made out of W2 most of the time. I bought a couple of lengths of W2. That one's out of the thicker stock. Also make them out of files, although I am running a bit lower on files. I've pretty well settled on this pattern because it's the easiest to make, and I'm getting pretty good at it. I can knock one of these out and they spark well, they fit well in the grip, my pinch grip. You can lock your modified pinch grip, you can lock your finger down there and get a good grip on it, and it sparks well. I really like this, and I finally got to the point where I'm happy with my work. So that was what spurred me onto this now, where I am. That's where people started asking me about it, and that's what triggered this whole discussion. And I started talking to Jack about it, and later on you'll see the decision I came to as to why I don't sell my work. The main reasons why I don't sell my work is I don't want to turn my hobby into a business, because that's what it eventually does. It turns out that you turn something you love into a business, and all that entails. I just don't have the time to dedicate it to being a full-time smith, and I just don't want to do that. And you basically do, if you, as soon as you have orders and then the pressures of orders and everything, and once you do that, you just, it basically destroys any, your hobby, because all of a sudden you're finding that you're not doing it because you love it anymore. You're just doing it to fill orders. So that's the main, that's that part of it. It also opens up a story Jack told me, which I won't relate because that was Jack's story, but it opens you up to warranty issues. Because if you're selling these things, they customers then expect a certain level of customer guarantees. So if they don't spark or whatever, and while I can get sparks out of it, out of my strikers without a problem, I've been doing this for 2.5 years every night practice, plus other, like, doing it for other times as well. Like, I don't just do it at night. I do it also during the day and for when I get new strikers in and all that. So it's not just I do daily practice of it. A first time buyer might not be able to get that, and they send your striker back saying, well, I can't get it to spark, and then all of a sudden they want their money back or whatever. So, then it's the warranty issues, and I just don't want to have to deal with that sort of thing. They drop it and it snaps, or they snap a tine, and through no fault of your own, you have to replace it. And that there are certain warranty issues that are, as soon as you sell something, it has warranty issues, warranty expectations that the customers will expect, and that's fine. But that if you give them away as gifts, no one can reasonably expect a warranty with a gift. That's that whole thing. So yeah, that's those two things. The business side of it and that warranty issue is probably the primary reasons why. The next point is I do this because I love it. Flint and steel is a passion of mine. I do this because I love drawing the spark out of steel and stone. I do it because it's relaxing. I've developed a love for the steels, for the stones. I love seeing the sparks. I love seeing how I can do it. It is a passion for me, and I've embraced it entirely. And I don't want to have that pressure of having to fill orders and everything. I don't want to destroy that passion because people are constantly wanting me to make them a striker and constantly bringing in. I have no problems with making strikers for friends, but once you start selling them, the pressures of that, it just gets more and more and more and more. And I can see how, if you have 30 customers wanting to do it, like you have months of work ahead of you, like, yeah, this is my hobby, my passion, and I don't want it to be destroyed by the pressures of having to sell. And I know that as soon as you start opening up and start trying to sell these things, it would degenerate into that pressure. I also make these strikers because I want to make them, and I make my own designs. I, 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 I make my own designs, but I also want to experiment with different ways of making them. And if I bugger one up and that, I'm happy to scrap it. But if a customer sends me a design and then I say, yeah, I'll give that a go, and then down the track find I can't do it, that is very hard to come back to them and say, well, I'm sorry, but I just couldn't do that. Like, that's a very easy way to destroy your business. It's That's another thing. Like, I've settled on this design, and because it's reasonably easy to do, but it's a classic design, but it's an effective design and it works. But and that's with the double-ended ones, the double curls. I basically abandoned them because they were too hard to do. But if a customer said, "Oh, I'd like a double curl one," like, it'd be very hard to say no to them. And then I'd try and do it, and it didn't work out, because most times they'd send you a picture and say, "Oh, can you do this?" And then it's very hard, because there's so many pictures out there, there's so many designs, there's thousands of different strikers, and I I I do this for me. This is primarily for my pleasure, and I do the designs that I like to do. But for people, again, if you're doing it for a business, they're going to come up with their own designs, and they'll want to do a variation or whatever, and they'll want something else, and then they'll want to add on little bits and pieces. But because they don't know how hard some things are to do, it's going to be very difficult. And then you're trying to explain it to them, and because they're not a smith, they might not understand that bit about them, and you can't really explain that to them. So yeah, that's another part of why I don't want to go down the thing of trying to sell them to them. Last but not least is I do these as gifts. My strikers are handmade pieces that I've forged, and I forge them for people with love and passion, for friends. Like, every striker, I put a bit of myself into it, and that should show. Like, that's the thing I do for them. These are gifts that I send to people, and they're a handmade product that is made by my hand, and they are gifts that I like to do. I don't want to be honest, I couldn't charge you enough for it that I would feel comfortable to compensate me for it. It's that's the thing. I've always said, like, you should be actually charging more for your hobbies than what you do for your work, because your hobbies are worth more to you than what your work has ever been. Like, that to me is the way it should be, because this is what you do because you love doing it. And I send these out as gifts, and that's exactly what I do it for. Like, this is what I do. I haven't been able to do many things in life as far as crafting goes. I'm not a very crafty person, but I found I can do these very well. And as far as this pattern goes, or that one worked out really well too. So yeah, that's the main thing. Like, these are gifts to friends, so I don't want to ever charge for that. Like, I wouldn't feel right in my own I wouldn't feel right charging someone for it. That's as simple as that. But I hope that's my mindset about it anyway. And I hope this gives you a little bit of insight into why I do this, and why I don't charge for my strikers, as far as that goes. Now I do have a few on the hop at the moment, but I don't I'm not making any more strikers at the moment for people. So the couple I've got going, because it's just, as I said in the beginning, I've got I don't want too much pressure on me to have to produce too many. I've got a couple I've got to make for Craig and Ali. I've got 2 more to do, but yeah, at the moment that's all I'm going to be doing for the moment. And I don't want to make any more at the moment for other people, because I want to have a bit of a rest as far as making too many more for gifts at the moment. But maybe in a month's time or so I might reach out to people to and send a couple more out, because I did contact one other bloke that I have to make. I did say I was going to make one, but that's down the track a bit too, because I did say I was going to make one. So yeah, I've actually got 3 that I've got to make. So yeah, as I said, I don't want to be pressured too much for to be having too many stacked up, because I can only go over to Jack's at a every so often. It's every couple of weeks. I don't want to wear my welcome out there either too. So, but yeah, that's just a bit of a discussion piece. It's probably I don't want this to run too long, but that's my philosophy behind why I don't sell strikers. Just all those points. I don't want to reiterate over. So mainly it's just because they are gifts for friends, and I don't want to turn this into a business. I just want to it's my passion, and I love making them. I get a lot out of it. I love seeing how they work and how they turn out, and thankfully I haven't made one yet that hasn't sparked. So out of the 20 odd I've made, every one of them has sparked very well. So yeah, just a testament to how good Jack is as a teacher. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble along, and thanks for watching.